Welcome to Modern Home Masterminds with beSpoke Brokers. I'm Shauna Glazier, designated broker and owner.
And I'm Brittany Williamson, associate broker. Shauna and I are beSpoke real estate, but we're also your guides to modern luxury across the entire state of Arizona.
Each week, we chat with masterminds shaping modern spaces. Do you want to get a behind-the-scenes look at your design build team's processes? Well, open communication and teamwork will lead you to a successful project.
From architects to builders, designers, and more, let's explore the art of modern living together.
All right, welcome back, listeners. What happens when your design partner is also your life partner? Today, we are talking with Patricia Chen and Chen Suchart about how they blend marriage and modernism to create some of the most striking homes in the desert.
Yes, we are so excited to have you both here. Tommy and Patricia are the award-winning husband and wife duo behind Chen Suchart Studio, a Scottsdale-based architecture firm celebrated for its striking modernist homes that engage deeply with the desert landscape. Both trained at Harvard's Graduate School of Design, their work blends clean lines, expressive materials, and site-specific design to create spaces that are both conceptually rich and highly livable.
Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you both for having us.
As she said, we're huge fans of your work and really want to talk about your work. But I want to start with telling our listeners, and I personally want to know, what is it like working with your partner every day? How did you guys get started?
We actually went to undergrad together. So we've been actually working together in studio since 1993.
Oh my goodness.
And after undergrad, when we were in grad school, we also worked on projects together. So after moving to Phoenix, we started our own firm in 2005, officially, yeah. And it's been a fun journey. Started from just the two of us, and then now we have two kids. Balancing the work marriage life is not easy, but I think we balance each other, so it's been a good adventure.
So were you dating in undergrad?
Yes.
Okay.
So we've known each other since 1993.
So you've raised each other.
Where was
Yes.
undergrad?
At Rhode Island School of Design.
Okay.
In Providence, Rhode Island. It's a all arts school, and architecture is one of the 16 disciplines there, and we both happen to be in architecture, probably because both of our parents didn't want us to do sculptures.
That's awesome. So we know you've created a lot of homes for other people, but one of your more recent projects was your own house.
Yes.
Can you walk us through kind of what that was like? And we do have some photos of your house, which is incredible.
Thank you. So I'll talk a little bit about the process. So we bought this property in 2008, a long time ago. It was around the time when we had our first kid, our son. And between 2008 on, we kind of probably designed, 25 different homes for this one property, partially because that's what we're trained to do as architects, is to iterate on ideas. Partially also, it's you're never satisfied with your own work because you don't have a deadline. There was no deadline, right? And we weren't starting construction, so that's even worse that there's no deadline. The real deadline came about when you have kids and they're growing up very quickly, and you realize that if you want them to experience your architecture, your world, what you do every day and what you can provide, we had to do something quickly. So we designed something, we settled on it, and then actually Patricia left for the summer to go to Taiwan to visit her family. And when she got there, I told her, we're abandoning everything that we just agreed on, and we're doing something else completely different. And that's when this sort of revelation came about, which was sort of inspired by this particular art piece in Japan. And we kind of created this. And partially it's also, we kind of had designed a certain sort of more linear and boxier uh, form for the property. And then in this case, kind of said to ourselves, we're going to do something where we can experiment with what we want to do and how we want to do it. And that's how this project came out. We're the last iteration that we decided on to then go ahead and move forward with.
Yeah, and since some of our listeners are just listeners and aren't visually watching the images we're seeing, how would you describe the shape of your home?
Yes. So I describe it as, first of all, it's a reimagination of a desert courtyard house. And so there are 4 volumes, imagine 4 rectilinear volumes in the project. One volume is the primary suite, second volume is kid suite, living room suite, and then the guest suite. And there are 4 rectangles that kind of are, imagine like if you threw dice down on a page, they would sort of be in this sort of haphazard arrangement, but then it's sort of unified with one sort of large circular gesture and an egg-shaped cutout for the courtyard space, which really is about editing the view towards the kind of iconic Camelback Mountain that we have for the property. So that, and then it also is the courtyard, which is this kind of privatized area for the home where we have the pool. And it's about just sort of the daily experience of life, kind of within this courtyard space that all the spaces of the project have a relationship to.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how many awards you get on this property.
Once we get it done.
Yeah. I mean, it's unlike anything else that's out there.
It is. When do you think you'll have it complete?
So interestingly enough, we started building this project in 2020, right during COVID, and built it ourselves. We general contracted ourselves and then built some of it, what we could, ourselves. And we are just finishing the landscaping now. In the next 4 weeks, that'll be done. And then we still have lots of boxes to unpack still.
Yes.
Yeah.
After 2 years being in the house, we're still unpacking.
Still unpacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did bring in a landscape designer, the Green Room Collaborative,
Yes.
to
Yes,
help
we
out with
did.
that.
We
They're
did.
fabulous.
Yeah, it's looking great.
Yeah.
All right. So we know that building relationships with your clients is really important to you guys. Can you kind of walk us through your process with clients?
Go first.
Well, I think it's important. You're almost going into this marriage that you have with a client. You don't know anything about them, so you're getting to know them quite well. In the case of the homes and what they're wanting to live, they are bringing certain experiences that they have and certain particularities of how they live, but also we're trying to design something where it hopefully inspires them in how they could live based on a particular circumstance. A property, like in this case, it's on the screen, the remodel that we're working on. They have this incredible view of Camelback Mountain there that we remodeled, that before they had a giant bar censoring Camelback Mountain there. And we said, we're going to take that out and do large pieces of glass because that's the view you have. And that's what we want to take advantage of. So, getting to know our clients, we do kind of want to understand everything about them and how they've lived in the past, but also hopefully through the work that we do, we're inspiring them how they can live in future.
So your website mentions a commitment to integrity of design that transcends style and a reinvention of known ideas. Can you walk us through kind of what that means in practice?
I think primarily that statement is that, a lot of people ask us immediately when you're an architect, like, what's your style? And our style, if you will, it's not really born out of like a stylistic thing, because we appreciate all sorts of styles. But in the work that we do, it's of the moment and of the time that's appropriate for a particular setting. So in this case, Phoenix is a 100-year-old city. We're working here in this environment. We're not trying to We personally are not trying to replicate anything from the past in terms of architecture that's foreign to the desert. Uh, so through that, we're hoping to kind of create our own language where it is rooted in integrity, meaning, a particular site, a particular client, and what they want to do, views that are specific to each circumstance. And through that, we're trying to create something that then transcends style and transcends a moment in time because it's truly authentic to its circumstance.
Well, I think integrity as in just, it's not the architect telling the client, this is what you should have, this is what you want. Is that we have to marry what their lifestyle, what they want for their living space, and what we think is appropriate.
Right, so you're
Yeah.
listening to your clients is what you're saying.
Yes,
Yes.
that
That's
is
taking
the
it.
most important. Yeah.
Do they, when clients hire you guys, are you both equally on each project, or do you take turns leading projects, or how does that work with you?
We're pretty equal,
Mhm.
especially through the design phase. During construction, I would say Tommy takes more of the lead. He loves problem solving during construction, which is his strength, is not so much mine. So I think, yeah, in that sense, we complement each
I
other.
just want to clarify, I don't love problem solving. The
He-
problem solving is a result of having to deal
But I think
with
he enjoys the challenge of
Yes.
just the unknown or things that come up during construction, and you just have to deal with. And he's good at that.
Send all problems to Tommy.
Yes.
He's
He
the
loves it.
complaint department.
Yeah, the customer service.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through a little bit more some of your projects, some of your favorite projects, and in your portfolio, some of your newer projects. It'd be great to talk through some of those. What's on the horizon and what you're working on.
Sure. I mean, like this one, for example, is the Conti residence, located in Paris Valley. A client came to us with this property, and they have a very nice view of Camelback Mountain back. That's almost hillside, but so it has this elevated position that has this view of Camelback from the northwest. And they wanted to preserve their privacy by having this sort of very abstract facade against the street, which is essentially a concrete block wall. But we don't want it to look like a prison necessarily. So having it be a protective veil and allowing the ferocity through the language of concrete block and what we can do to have it more open for air and light to pass through, but then also be protective from the street to kind of preserve this courtyard space they have for guests who enter in, and also serves to kind of protect against the west sun for the living space inside.
Oh, and in this photo, it's actually creating art for the property. Yes.
Exactly. So one of the greatest compliments that we have is that randomly I will get photographs from the client taking pictures of the day-to-day of the sun, and it's casting the shadows because it's different all the time. And they've developed this appreciation for something that we design, but really light, and the house as a canvas for light there is something that's been established for them, they get to enjoy every day.
She should have marked it up. There should have been a line item for art.
Right. I actually drove past this house the other day
Oh,
when
did
I
you?
was driving the proposed luxury home tour.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so cool. Holly mentioned it. She's
Okay.
like, look at that. Like, now I know who did it. Who the people behind the magic. Yeah. And it is, I mean, the road is right there. And so,
Mhm.
and then I said, they must have an incredible view from the back of the home.
Right. So it is mostly closed off from the front where there isn't a view and that we can be protected. And then we're also sort of choreographing and setting up for your view. Like once you're inside, which the photographs don't show, haven't photographed it yet, but they have this completely open view towards Camelback Mountain with, a 50-foot long run of glass that's 12 feet tall, overlooking the negative edge pool that you see here. That's something of a surprise that we're trying to choreograph. for that.
And if it was hillside, you wouldn't have probably been able to do that wall, correct?
Well, in that case, we're well within the setback,
Okay.
so we can do the wall as tall as we want there. One interesting aspect I should mention about this project, which I hadn't mentioned yet, is that this is the first certified passive house zero project in the state of Arizona. And so what that means is that it's a heavily well insulated and airtight home. The client was super interested in building a very, very high level project. And so a very kind of sound thermal envelope and a very tight envelope. And the criteria that he wanted to establish was from Passive House United States standard. And so we used that as criteria. Where basically, since we were there, we also had the process of being able to get it certified. And so it's the first passive house project certified that is also 0+. I can't remember exactly.
In Arizona.
In Arizona.
That's an impressive feat,
Mhm.
especially for an ultra modern
Mhm.
custom home.
Exactly. Because it has so much glass. The typical passive house that you would see elsewhere has very minimal glass, has a footprint that's usually more of a square, and it's kind of a smaller house. But hopefully this goes to show that you can build really well, really responsibly, and still have something that's their modern piece of art.
All right. This one's going to get some awards too, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about this one real quick, and I think you should talk about it. So as architects, people always ask us, oh, what kind of architecture do you do, and who does your interiors, and like this and that. If we have the chance and the opportunity, we have a heavy interest in doing interiors, because for us, there is no difference in the sense that it's all design, whether it's interior, exterior, or a piece of furniture, or a sink, or something like that. And so a very good friend of ours came to us with this project. And then I'll let Patricia talk a little
That
bit more
is
about
stunning.
that.
Well, yeah. it
Yeah,
is.
so this project, so he came to us, he has this condo for a long time, and he's like, it's time for a refresh, for an upgrade. So we basically gutted the entire condo and came up with 2 options, and this is the one that we ended up with. And we knew that he's very much into wellness. So we know that we want this component in the condo to be all about wellness. The experience of bathing, showering. He has a steam shower in here, and we want something that is very spa-like.
Mhm.
So him and I went around hunting for material, and we came across this batch of onyx, green onyx,
Wow.
which is very rare to find the quality and the color. So this became the kind of the jewel of the condo.
Mhm.
So everything in this wellness bank is clad with onyx. It's this very spiritual experience for him.
It's stunning. And then is that a powder bath that we're looking at?
The black,
Yeah, is that like a
Yes.
grant? What are we?
yes, this is a powder bath. Everything in there is dark. So you come in from the outside, which is bright, enter into this powder room, which is completely dark with very minimal lighting, very moody. So everything that we're trying to create is this mood.
Mhm. What's the material in the powder bath?
What is that stone called?
I can't remember the name of the stone, but it's all slab material that everything is built out of the wall surface.
In the floor, too. Yeah.
The floor.
Everything looks very
All stone.
natural.
It looks like you're on a
Yes.
cliff,
Mhm.
about to wash your hands.
Mhm.
So is that the Safari building in Old Town Scottsdale?
Yes.
Is that Peter or who's the architect on that?
The architect long time ago was Miller Hall Partnership.
Okay.
There from Seattle, I believe.
It's a cool building.
But I mean, one aspect of this sort of wellness bank, and I think in a lot of our work period is the idea that, your routines, your day to day, like everything should be celebrated. And so like the act of brushing your teeth, of taking a shower, of preparing a meal, all those things are really important to be able to celebrate. And so if we can provide the catalyst for being able to do so and make every moment of the day something to be celebrated, I think that that's an exciting thing to try and aspire to.
Yeah, it just goes back to you guys are listening to your clients
Mhm.
and creating what they're asking for.
It does. And creating moments for them throughout the day.
Yes.
Because it is true. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, I will feel so much better if I take a shower. But if you take a shower in that shower, yeah, I mean, your whole life changes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for sharing those with us. We'd like to do a little rapid fire. So quick answers, supposed to be light and
Okay.
fun, whatever comes to mind. If you weren't architects, what would you be doing instead?
Oh, I think I may be a chef.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Love to eat. Cooking is another form of art.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I'll be a chef.
Two, probably. One would be a real estate developer or professional golfer. That would be the dream.
Really? Are you good?
No,
No.
not at all.
That's a hard road. My husband tried it for a number of years. Hard road. What is your favorite piece of architecture?
Wow. Can it be a space?
It can be.
I love the Johnstone Museum. That's my
The Johnson Museum.
Johnstone Museum. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's a
architect's own home that's now a museum in London. And oh my gosh, 18th century. I can't even remember.
I can't remember.
No, 18th century.
But it's just, I mean, it's nothing, it's not modern. It's
Mhm.
but you walk into that space, there's something about the light and just, I don't know.
The
it's
feeling.
The feeling, yes.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with it.
What about you, Tommy?
For me, I would say the thermal baths by Peter Zumthor, which is a project in Switzerland. It's a really powerful piece of architecture in the sense of, just the quality of the space and how it makes you feel. It's something that, we studied in school to a certain extent. We visited it for a honeymoon. And it's sort of a project that I think about a lot because it's, I guess, something that we would aspire to do that level of work in everything that we try and do every day.
All right,
Yeah.
something lighter. What type of music do you listen to? Or what do you like?
It's really, I like jazz. I listen to, when the kids and Tommy's not in the car, I blast my Mandarin Chinese music,
I
which
love
nobody
it.
likes, but
My gosh, I listen to a wide variety of music. Trying to think like favorite music.
Your genre?
There's so many. I mean, that's the
There are.
thing.
Taylor Swift?
No, not Taylor Swift for sure.
Okay, we'll circle
Yeah.
back to
Hard rock from the 70s, late, partly 80s, probably.
I love
I
it.
wanna
I
put
love
you
that
there.
too. Desert sunrise or desert sunset?
sunset.
Sunset.
All right. And what's your favorite thing to do to unwind?
How to unwind. I would say to pick weeds in the garden.
All right, Patricia, come on over to my house. You're worked up.
To be outdoors
Yeah.
and to, just clean up or
It's just soothing.
yeah,
I feel I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like weird things like laundry, like call me.
yeah,
like,
just
folding laundry
cleaning
yeah.
and I don't know,
Mhm.
somehow it gives me a sense of like, okay,
Relax,
yeah,
while being productive at the same time.
yes.
Mine is more elaborate than that. I like to travel, definitely, as a way of unwinding. That's a little bit more elaborate than a day to day. I would say if it's day to day, it'd be sketching, drawing, in the sketchbook.
I love it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of
We are going
course.
to link all of your contact information in our show notes, but could you tell our listeners where the best place to find you would be?
Yes, they find us on the web at ChenSuchartStudio.com or on Instagram, which is probably a little bit more updated at Chen Suchart Studio.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Of course. If you've enjoyed our episode of Modern Home Mastermind, please like, rate, or subscribe.
Thanks to our guests for sharing their insights and to you for learning about everything modern with us.
And if you're ready to take the next step in your real estate journey, please reach out to us at beSpoke Real Estate. And until next time, keep living, loving everything modern.